Adam with his artwork he's been all over with that now, and he's also getting his artwork put into other people's books that are they're publishing with Haunted Road Media. I mean, heck, I saw his artwork on somebody's arm the other day as a tattoo. I was like, geez,
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's very
cool. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so you make these lifelong friendships at these locations. I mean, the Andrea Perrin, very, very dear friend of mine, but I first met her at a Paracon, and it was like when we first met, we just like immediately hit it off. Like, wow, we were brothers and sisters in another life, weren't we, or something? It was like it's like one of those type of meetings, So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we enjoy them too very much. And you can never tell from which one, like how many of this you're gonna sell or how many readings are gonna happen or but be that as it may, I can't say that and knock on wood, but we've thoroughly enjoyed so far.
Yeah. I mean, one of the last ones we went to last year, we got to meet Grant Wilson, and that was cool in itself.
Yeah, there you go. Very cool.
So now let's talk about locations for a little bit. First of all, is there any particular locations on your bucket list? Does Mike Ricksecker have a bucket list?
Sort of. I mean, I'm always open to different locations just because I'm so interested in, exploring the world. But, and I guess that's kind of it is, I've done a lot of things in the United States. I've been to all but 3 states. So I would like to get out there and explore more of the world. So, like the Paris Catacombs or, a lot of different places around Italy I would love to go to. Shauna and I talk about Scotland and Ireland a lot. She has a real big draw to Ireland. I have a big draw to Scotland just because I have ancestry there. But there's also something else between there. And Vanessa and I were talking about this some weeks ago, and that there's a definite draw to me back there, actually between the 2 islands, between Ireland and Scotland. There's something going on there. So, yeah, there's a lot of more places around the world that I want to get to.
So, equipment. You use EMF meters?
Equipment. We keep it pretty light. It's funny. I have all of this, equipment and stuff, and it always comes down to, okay, I'm going to set up my cameras. I have a K2 that I'll throw out there, and sometimes things will happen with it. I have my audio recorder. That's kind of my big standby, and then whatever I pick up with the cameras. I don't use the Ghost Box or any of the apps or anything like that. I don't believe in them, and I have a lot of reasons as to why.
Right. But we don't use apps either, for sure.
Yeah. No. I mean, as a computer programmer, I can see how they very easily be manipulated. So it's like, no, we're not going there. And I did a whole thing last fall on the Ghost Box and radio and how radio signals work and all that stuff. So I don't use them. But I adhere to the philosophy that the best tool that you have is your own body. So.
Yeah, that's one of our most valuable pieces of equipment is our senses.
Yep.
Because when we go to places, and if there's something there, our bodies will react before our equipment does.
Absolutely.
You ever use old school stuff like the dowsing rods or?
I have, but it's not something I'll usually film. The only time I really have dowsing rods on film is when my friend Copperhead Greg Graham was investigating with me, and he uses those. And his method is in such a way where he has them pointed downward, and his thing is that the only way they could possibly move is for them to defy gravity, which is an interesting way to use them. But I'll rarely film something like that because dowsing rods can very easily be manipulated. So it's one of those where okay, I can't put it out there on YouTube, but if I'm not filming, if I'm just on my own doing something, sure, I'm open to using something old school like that to see what happens. Because I'm not gonna, I don't lie anyway, but I'm not gonna lie to myself and be like, oh, here I'm gonna play around with the rods, and I mean, who am I fooling, right? That would be silly. So, but when you throw something out there onto YouTube, anything that's old school like that is very, very difficult because so many people immediately dismiss it. I mean, they have to trust you as a person.
Exactly.
And the majority of people that are coming across the content that you put out there don't know you from anybody. So that's where you kind of get stuck into, okay, this is the piece of audio that I have. This is the piece of video that I have. You can interpret it because it's not manipulated by me. It's what the device picked up.
Yeah, and that's so true. I mean, the like when, for instance, when I come across videos, let's say videos of paranormal stuff or whatever, if it's coming from somebody that doesn't have something at stake as far as their reputation goes, then I tend to doubt that more so right off the bat. If it's let's say, like, for example, like if you posted something and you said, this is really amazing evidence, we got it, check it out. Okay. I would tend to believe it, that it wasn't manipulated, because you have so much to lose if you were busted doing anything like that.
Yeah.
And we're the same way. Like in our case, a majority of the stuff we do is done under anonymity for clients. A lot of people, people call us for help and stuff, and the last thing they want everyone knowing is that, we're helping them. So, we've gotten really good evidence, at places that we can never put on social media. We can never put out there because we would be violating that trust.
Right.
When it comes to like evidence in general, unless it's super amazing, something that, because you got to be careful what you post. I mean, a lot of it, for instance, we generally stay away from like orbs. Not that an orb can't be some kind of spirit energy. Assuming it's creating its own light, it's got a tail on a trail, it's moving intelligently or whatever, doing something other than what moisture or dust would do. But, there's always, you got to definitely be smart about what you put out there.
Yeah.
You're better off not putting it out there and perhaps even writing something about it than you would be putting it out there and trying to, like you said, like with the dowsing rods. If we put something with dowsing rods out there, it's one of the things to where if you don't trust us, then, I guess you should be watching the video anyways. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I completely get it. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, the moment you get caught in a lie, especially in a field like this, you're done. You're absolutely done. Nobody can ever trust you again. So, it's just, don't lie. Don't make something up. Don't fake anything. And that might mean that, and if you're doing video work like we do, that might mean you have a boring video. Yeah, we have those. We honestly do, and it's funny. One of our highest viewed paranormal investigation videos is probably the most boring video that we have up there, because there's almost nothing that happens. But it's just one of those quirky things where it's only got a lot of views, and it might even be one of those that got viewed a lot because people were busy insulting how boring it was, but it's honest and true. This was an investigation that, and it actually is a residential house, residential investigation that they authorized us to go ahead and put out there because they wanted people's opinion on it. If there were EVPs and things like that, they wanted people's opinions on what they may have heard. So I was like, okay, well, we're happy to put it out there if you want us to go ahead and put it out there. So we did. But there was almost nothing that happened during that investigation, and but it was honest and true, because there's a lot of investigations that you go on where you get absolutely nothing, and you have to go back several times and maybe get something. And I think that's one of the things, in our society today with short attention span and all that, they're expecting, all these things to happen left and right. And if you don't, then they're like, oh, that was so boring, or it was this or that or the other thing. They want it now. And it's like, well, that's not the way the paranormal works. It doesn't happen the way it happens on TV. They have a 40-minute show to put out there, and they were filming for 3 days. And, there were a couple things that that may have happened that, become the highlights of their show. And then who knows what else they may have thrown out there for theatrics. Yeah. So, but that's not reality.
Why don't we finish this conversation after this break? You are listening to Paraversal Universe. We will be right back with our guest for the next segment.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. Since 1948, Fate Magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Son of a...
Hey, son.
Mother...
Son? What are you doing?
Hey, Mom. I'm getting ready to listen to Periscope Uncensored.
By expanding your vocabulary.
Well, it is uncensored.
Son, the uncensored part of Periscope Uncensored is Jax and I getting down to brass tacks with all aspects of the paranormal. There's no fluff on our show.
So, no off-color commentary?
I didn't say that.
Awesome!
Son?
I just hit my head.
Oh boy, I'll go get you an ice pack. Catch Periscope Uncensored Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back from our commercial break. This is Paraversal Universe, produced by WBHM Digital Broadcasting, also heard on WCET-FM, the Rift Radio Network, and Amelia Pisano Productions. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malik. Before we get back to the interview, let's take a quick moment to mention our AM/FM affiliates on terrestrial radio, including WCET 101.7 FM, Columbia, South Carolina, and High Point Radio, 100.5 FM.